Hi everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. So today I'm going to show you how you can make an awesome book cover, and you can see here this is out of fabric, and you can of course choose any piece of fabric that you like or have. And yeah, you can see what mine looks like, so you can of course adjust this to your own book size. So it's highly customizable. It's going to be super easy to do as well, so even if you're a beginner, this is going to be doable. So feel free to try it out. Yeah, you can see here mine is a little bit thicker. That's because I put some fabric inside to have it this way, but this is completely optional. You can do a front side, a back side, in the same type of fabric or different types of fabric. You're going to see how I'm going to do it in a moment. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope you guys like the way this looks. And yeah, it's also a really great gift idea, and this is something that you can do pretty quickly when you get the hang of it. So yeah, let's get started right away. Okay, you guys, so you're gonna need your book that you want to do your cover for, and then some pins, of course, clothespins, some fabric of your choice. Yeah, something that isn't stretchy is what I recommend. Then something to measure with, and your fabric scissors. If you would like to make this a little bit neater, then you can of course use your iron, but that's completely optional. Okay, so depending on the size of your book, you're gonna need more or less fabric. So you can see here I have this thicker type of fabric and then this outside piece with my little insects and moths. And yeah, that's completely optional. You can do both pieces of fabric pretty thin, or you can do it this way. That's completely up to you. I like the way it looks when it's a little bit thicker. I just think it's pretty cool, and yeah, it looks kind of traditional, I guess, and really like old books. So yeah, you can do this, of course, thinner or even thicker than I do, depending, of course, on what kind of fabric you're using. If you're using cloth leather or something like that, it can be even thicker and more stable. But yeah, either way, take your book and then take the back of your book and align it this way. You want all of the sides, so the entire cover kind of on here. And you can see here the left side, the right side, and the middle. And yeah, what I want to do is kind of fold this over like this so that it's kind of covered. And yeah, I think that way it looks nicer and you hide this cover page or inside of the cover. And yeah, what we want to do is now take the width, and I do recommend, as I said, doing about 15 or 20 centimeters more so that you can fold it this way. Of course, you can do less, you can do 10 to 12, or you can do even more depending on the size of your book and what you want. So yeah, you just measure this up and then we're going to continue. Okay, you guys, so you can see here that I have both of my fabric pieces and they're the exact same size. And now I just want to connect them, so I want to stitch them up. And I'm going to take both and put them pretty side on pretty side, which basically means they're going to be looking away from you, so you see how they're facing each other. And make sure you align this perfectly, or as good as it gets, and then pin it all together so that it stays in place. I actually like clothespins much better than regular pins because I don't have holes in my fabric and it works with every type of fabric. And yeah, the next step is just stitching the entire thing up, all the sides, and I'm going to show you. So when you pin everything up, you just start with one section. I'm going to probably start here on the shorter side, then the longest side here, or the longer side, and then on this other side, I'm going to leave a little opening so that I can turn it inside out when I'm done. And then, yeah, if you close it off, of course, you're going to have the pretty sides kind of closed off, and we don't want that. So make sure you do a little opening there. Okay, now we can turn the whole thing inside out. Before you do that, feel free to kind of cut off the excess fabric on each corner, because that way your corners are going to be a lot nicer when you turn them inside out. Take your time, be patient with this, make sure you don't rip any stitches. Also, I ironed over this so you can see how flat it is. This is of course optional, but I do recommend it because it looks nicer, and then you can kind of see better what it's going to look like later. And yeah, now what I want to do is do an extra stitch on the side where my opening is. So right here where you see my pins. And I'm going to do the same on the other side so that it looks exactly the same, and that way it's going to be symmetrical on both sides. So just a regular straight stitch across all of, or the entire side here, all of it. And yeah, as close as possible to the edge. Now that you did these ends or the shorter sides, you need your book one more time, and we're gonna put our book right in the middle of this. So I'm gonna fold the fabric in half, and then I'm gonna mark the middle by putting a pin there. It's a really cool and really easy trick to do. And then what you wanna do is take your book and align it here. And then just take a look if everything's looking good, and you can fold in half or fold on each side of the cover. There we go. And I'm gonna do the same on the other side as well. But before that, I'm gonna pin here so that it stays that way. And now you can see how much it's folded over, or how long this fold over is, and you can adjust accordingly. And yeah, I'm gonna measure this just so I know how long it is. So this is 6 centimeters, yeah, 6.5 to 7. And yeah, now I'm gonna pin it here on the end, and make sure that you don't stitch up your book. That's not something you want. Or you can measure it up and then just measure it when you take the book out again and mark there. That's completely up to you, but I'm taking it out just in case. I'll pin this other side as well. And now the next step is to pin everything so that it stays in place, so all of the corners, edges, and that way you have everything prepped. And then when you do that, all that you're gonna do is do a straight stitch along this longest side, completely from the one end to the other. And yeah, when you go over this, then you kind of close this off, and you also get the stitches just like if you remember we did here on the sides when we closed off the opening. And then it's gonna look super neat, it's gonna have flat edges, and it's gonna look great. And yeah, this goes of course with soft covers. It doesn't really work if you have a hardcover book, because you do need to fold it kind of, or to have it flexible so that it fits inside. So yeah, I'm gonna do another project where I'm gonna show you how you can do a book cover that can be changed according to the book size, but for that feel free to stay tuned on my channel and subscribe, and you'll see it as soon as I post it. But anyway, in this project now all we want to do is do a regular straight stitch from the one end to the other on the bottom and the top. Okay, and after this, your book cover is already done, so that's all that you have to do, and you already get your result. And yeah, now I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna put the book back in, just so you see what it looks like when it's completely done, but if you measured everything correctly, it should fit in perfectly. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to shoot us a thumbs up if you did. You can also subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell. See you next time. Bye!